What's up, everyone? Sorry about that. I had my microphone muted. What's up, everyone? What we are going to do is do an 880-mile update on the Polaris RZR XP 4-seater 1000 Ultimate model. And this is something that I've been wanting to do. We're actually going to be doing our road to 1,000, to my first 1,000 miles, because I've had this for about a year almost, and we are at 880 miles, and we got about 40 hours, 40 engine hours until the next service. So that's be pretty cool. And so far this summer, no trail rides until after the summer because my dad's busy, my mom's busy, we're all busy during the summer months, so it's really hard to go for a trail ride most of the time. So I just got done trail riding, or I just got done riding around my yard today. We drove it for about an hour or two. Let me see. Polaris. Map. Wow. That's pretty cool. Oh, that's probably. But I did ride it today. And we filled up with gas, so that's pretty cool. That's why I went riding today, because we filled up with gas. So we went to the PD exchange down there. We filled up our little gas tank with gas, and we filled up in the side by side. So I went riding around for about an hour or two, since we were already, filled up with gas. And it's a good thing because I pulled out the side by side after moving my mom's Ford Fusion, and my dad moved my mom's Buick Envista. So with everything, the RZR did really well. I was fitting the Anchor USB-C to USB-A cable, which is a 3-foot cable. And with that being a 3-foot cable, it actually is plenty long to reach the USB port in the console, the compartment in the dash, where I can pop it open, plug it into the USB port, and voila, it gets read by the ride command saying please connect over USB. And it worked really well. I was really impressed with the RZR's ride command and how well it did with the Anchor cable. Not only that, I got a smaller, more slimmer cable that I can use in the RZR when I go trail riding. Just plug it in and don't have to worry about really like strands of cable in the dash. And it feels great. So over the last year, we took it to Carolina Adventure World twice. The first night we went for about 3 days, and then the second day, or the second time, we went just for a couple of days. or maybe one day, 1 or 2 days. That was in March. We rode March 3rd, 4th, and of course half on the 5th. So our first trail ride was in November, right before a week or two, maybe 3 weeks before Thanksgiving. That was our last trail ride, or our first trail ride, and our second trail ride was right before Thanksgiving on the 20th. And then went to Carolina Adventure World. And after Carolina Adventure World, which was right after New Year's, felt great to go riding and going on the trails. And we rough it, especially with camping in a cabin. We're going to do a duplex. We're going to do a duplex cabin next time, and I can bring a TV, DVD player, set up in the mini living room with the duplex, duplex. It's gonna be great. I'm definitely looking forward to going back to Carolina Adventure World again after so long. We're gonna do that after the wedding, which will be in November, December, maybe I think it's going to be in November, December, or later in 2027. Who knows? But it's going to be fun. It is going to be fun. And then we went another time to Riverneck when everything was frozen with ice. And I think that's when I went with my brother, and we just went riding around and all that stuff. So I think that's going to go well next time. And I'm also looking forward to going to Wind Rock in Tennessee, Durham Town in Georgia, and the Half of McCoy trails up in West Virginia. That's be fun. I'll be taking my razor to a place I've never been before, which is great. But I just think it's going to be a really cool rest of the year as we celebrate exactly 1 year in September, or maybe even October. The purchase date will be on September 30th, I would say. If we go back to my channel, because that's when we purchased it in late September. We didn't get until mid-October, because we were putting on a lot of they were putting a lot of accessories that we bought for it, and we were literally ready to take it home on the 16th of October. So we've got a lot of stuff to do for the RZR, and in November we're making it street legal, so that's pretty cool. Because there's a law that has been passed, it doesn't go into effect until November. Here in South Carolina, where side-by-sides are going to be street legal, but we can only drive it within 10 miles, I think, of our current location. So if you want to drive it in, let's say, Myrtle Beach, we'll have to trail it with our truck and take it off the trailer. Find somewhere we can park it, and we can go riding around. So that's gonna be different, and especially since with especially with the trailer being so big, we have to find somewhere to park it. So yeah, we're gonna take the RZR into downtown Conway come November, so that's gonna be kind of cool. It goes to effect on November 14th, so I'll be on the lookout for some really cool videos with the iPhone for this channel. It is gonna be fun. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm definitely looking forward to taking this side by side on the actual main road. It's gonna be fun. So we're gonna get blinkers and turn signals and some street legal tires from I think there's gonna be all-terrain tires, so I can take it on both the trails and also on the actual road. So it's gonna be a really cool time going on the road in the RZR. We've been wanting to do this for a while, like venture out with the RZR, but we can only drive it within 10 miles. Yeah, we'll have to go no more than 10 miles out of our from where we live. And because of that, it's gonna be so different compared to just cruising the trails. I mean, we can take it to, I think we could actually drive it next, like in November, we can drive it to the gas station to fill it up with gas, and then maybe even drive it to Dollar General, or maybe drive it into downtown Conway to go get something to eat. So it's gonna be a fun little adventure with the RZR as we are celebrating its first year. And I can't believe, with this thing being a little over a year old when this law goes into effect here in South Carolina, it's gonna be fun. So we got a lot of mods coming for the RZR down the road with blinkers and turn signals and things you would need for a RZR. Things needed for a side-by-side to make it street legal. To make it street legal. Okay, so so turn signals, headlights and tail lights, reflectors. We already got a horn. We've already got mirrors. We already windshield wipers. Department of Transportation approved tires, seat belts, parking brake, speedometer, registration, insurance, license plate. So really not that much to put on the RZR, except for turning signals, headlights and tail lights, which are Department of Transportation approved. Brake lights, license plate light, reflectors, a horn, mirrors, windshield wipers and windshield and wipers, tires, seat belts, type 2 lap and shoulder. It says here, be prepared for local travel restrictions. Many regions only allow UTVs on the road with speed limits up to under 55 or within a set mile radius of your registered address. Conway, South Carolina. Starting November 18th, 2026, a new state law officially makes qualifying UTV street legal on public roads in South Carolina. To operate your side-by-side legally around Conway, your vehicle must meet street size and mechanical criteria, feature mandatory safety modifications, and adhere to specific travel radius restrictions. Okay, the UTV must have, the UTV or side by side, or whatever you have to call it, meet these base criteria to qualify for DMV registration. Engine size must have an engine displacement of at least 450cc. Mine's got a 999cc. Yeah, 999cc. Speed capacity must factory top speed 55 miles per hour. I can go over that. And be capable of maintaining a minimum speed of 45, of course. Width must be 80 inches wide or less to register your UTV. So because of that, I think my mom or my dad can drive the side by side on the road. I can only drive it on the trails. Lighting, operable headlights, brake lights, tail lights, a license plate light, and a turn signal front and rear. Seatbelts, working type 2 lap and shoulder. Seatbelts are mandatory for or must be worn by all occupants. Mirrors, okay, at least 2 of 3 standard mirrors. Driver's side mirror is mandatory, paired with either a passenger mirror or we got them installed. Windshield, a standard windshield paired with a functional electric windshield wiper. Tires, Department of Transportation approved street tires. Here we go. Once registered and insured, your operations in York County must stick with these guidelines. 10-mile radius. You are strictly limited to driving within a 10-mile radius of the address listed on your registration. Hmm. Okay. Okay. So let's say the Polaris RZR XP 1000 Ultimate fully satisfies South Carolina's structural rules, but my aftermarket 4-point harness will fail the street legal registration inspection. So it needs a Type 2. Traditional 4 or 5-point off-roading harness do not meet the Type 2 definition. Okay, my RZR platform passes the DMV's mechanical dimensions check with ease. Engine size minimum is 450cc. I have a 999cc ProStar engine, which is passed with maximum of 80 inches. My factory width is 64 inches. Top speed 55. My top speed for by the factory is 75 to 78 miles an hour. Okay, dual insta. Oh, I guess what we'll do is dual installation. That's what we'll do is the dual installation. So I pretty much have the stock 30 by 10 tires on there. We'll probably have to get 32 by 10s, all terrain tires. We'll probably do that later on down the road. So that's actually what's next for the RZR, is to make it street legal so we can actually take it on the road and really venture out and push it to its limits on the road. Places I can drive my Polaris XP 1000 Ultimate that is within 10 miles. I also have my home address because that's where we're driving it from. When it becomes street legal in November of this year. Okay. So I can only drive it to City of Conway, Riverwalk Park, Waccamaw River Park, Cox Ferry Lake Recreation Area, PD Park, many neighborhoods around Carolina Forest / Conway that are connected by secondary county roads posted at 55 miles per hour or less, where local restrictions don't prohibit UTVs. I see how long it takes to get to church from here. Coastal YMCA. And that's 27 miles way out. So we can't drive it to Myrtle Beach. I mean, we can drive it to Conway, Yeah, City of Conway, Riverwalk Park, Waccamaw River Park. Yeah, City of Conway. So I can pretty much drive it to Conway, and we can walk around. Riverwalk Park, Waccamaw River Park. I mean, we already know that. Waccamaw River Park. Okay. I don't think I've ever been there. Cox Fair Recreation Area, so a lot of recreational areas to drive the side by side to. PD Park. Battery Off Road Park. We'll come to directions. We'll open up in Apple Maps because I use Apple Maps. 34 miles. Nope. But I think. Yeah, I think. Yeah, PD Cox Ferry, Waccamaw River Park, Riverwalk Park, and then City of Conway. Historic downtown Riverwalk area. Okay, so we pretty much have to trail it to these places that are over a 10-mile radius. Carolina Adventure Roll is in Winsboro, which we usually trail it there anyway. I love Carolina Adventure World. It is a nice park. Yeah, it features more than 100 miles of purpose built trails. They're going to be busy this Saturday on the 4th of July. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. But after all the fun we've been having since October the 16th of last year, we put 880 miles on it, and I've really enjoyed every single bit of it, which is amazing. Riding around the yard multiple times, going to Carolina Adventure World a couple of times, 3 times, going to Riverneck, and going trail riding a lot. It's just been a fun experience owning this side by side. It's my first ever side by side. I mean, if you saw what I had before the side by side, yeah, it's a huge upgrade. We're going to come over here to OBS and come straight to screen recording so I can show you what came before the side by side. I will come to, let's say, August, because I got rid of it, and I got rid of my last vehicle in August 2025. And here it is. Yep, this is what came before the side by side. And you know why I love it why I love my side by side so much. Oh, sorry. So, yeah, this is my old 2017 Easy Go golf cart. Got it from Graham Golf Cars. And as you see, we have my Schuler's barbecue in Atlanta, South Carolina sticker. My Charleston sticker, which I'll have to get one for the side by side, and a Kilgore Trout sticker to go on the side by side as well. And this is what I started out with. I started out with mainly golf carts, and it's an electric vehicle, so I'm unable to drive it. And now my cousin has it, which is great. Sorry about that. Oh, I guess I didn't have that many photos, but here's me sitting on the golf cart for the last time before getting the side by side. But a lot of work has been done to this particular golf cart. What my, I guess how we can call, I don't know what to call. So there was a lot of work done to this golf cart. The batteries were replaced, the key was replaced, the entire thing was replaced. Did its normal maintenance. I should probably tell from the golf cart. That's what came before the side by side, and I'd never been more happier in my life getting into um, gas powered vehicles, which is amazing. This is something I never thought would ever happen in my entire life, which is insane. I never thought any of this would happen to me ever. It's like with, the RZR, we put almost 880 miles. Actually, we put a little over 880 miles on it since October. We're getting close to its first 1,000 miles. So we're going to do a 900-mile update and a 1,000-mile update to update you guys on how everything's been doing with the RZR. It's been a very reliable machine. All thanks to the service team at Redline Power Sports in Conway, South Carolina, or Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because it's Myrtle Beach and it's just been swallowed up. Conway's been swallowed up by Myrtle Beach. So we can pretty much say it's Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And that team has really been supportive, and I really thank them for everything, for taking care of my machine whenever it needs to be serviced. And they replaced a wheel bearing, which is good. I didn't even see a broken wheel bearing on the side by side, but that's normal from daily trail riding and riding around the yard. It's been a pretty good machine, and I really love that machine. It's really good for my family and all that stuff. And it's a good thing we got a four-seater. It can fit the entire family. It's kind of like, when we get our small cars, even though it doesn't fit, 5 people, it can fit 4. And if we needed a much larger side by side, we'll, think about that down the road, but we're not. I think 4-seater is perfect enough. It's just me and my dad most of the time when we go trail riding, and it's just me driving around the yard since it is my machine. And I put 880 miles on this thing. When we got rid of it since we got it in October. It was literally before Halloween. So on the 16th, it'll be exactly 1 year since I got the Polaris RZR, and we will do a 1 year update. When is October 16th, 2026?
It's Friday, October 16th, 2026.
So that Friday, we're going to do a special 1 year update on the Polaris RZR, my 1 year update. Remind me on October 16th, 2026 to do a 1 year update on the Polaris RZR XP 41000 Ultimate. That's not what I want. There we go. I think that should work. We'll go to reminders to see if it's been set. Do a 1 year update on the Polaris RZR XP 41000 Ultimate. Perfect. And we'll kind of update on the mileage, how everything's been going, and how everything's been working out. So it's going to be an awesome. You know what? I think what we'll do on that Friday is to go through everything on the channel that is considered a major video, like a big video on the channel. This was, changed from the Razor Garage to the Trailblazer RZR to Trails on the Spectrum. See, Trails on the Spectrum came shortly after my Disney trip, riding Surrey bikes, and you never know, I could get a Surrey bike down the road, and we can go ride on the Surrey bike. But I think I do like the Trails in the Spectrum. That way, say, hey, there's an autistic side-by-side rider / Surrey bike rider from South Carolina, and I still have the Off-Road Campground podcast I've been doing every Saturday. Yeah, we're going to go through this entire channel, going through everything we've done. Let's actually watch my first trail ride video on November 6th, 2025. November 6th, 2025. It was about almost a month old. And that was our first time going trail riding. And now my side-by-side is filthier than ever. I was like, look at my ride. But, that's what side-by-sides are for, off-roading. It's got the off-roading tires, 30x10s. Pretty good. Got 4 30x10 tires that are from the factory. And it does a really good job mudding. So yeah, it's meant to go off-roading. I take it off-roading all the time, riding around the yard. There's a lot of places I really want to take my RZR to. It's going to be Durhamtown in Georgia, Rock in Tennessee, and the half of McCoy trails. Just, to name three that I've yet to go to and explore. And this is the first place I ever went to for trail riding, and it's Riverneck Acres, right there in Florence. It was a beautiful day out that day, and I was impressed with Riverneck, as well as Carolina Adventure World. And that's Riverneck. And then we went back on the 20th, not that long ago. Yep, it was right before Thanksgiving. I mean, it's just one of those trail rides that really means something, especially if I'm not willing to go on the interstate. My dad usually comes with me. I usually go with him, it's different. Wow. I'll never forget Riverneck. It's, I'm actually might go back there, maybe go back to Carolina Adventure World, go to Rock in Tennessee, Durhamtown in Georgia, and the half of McCorney Trails up in West Virginia. Maybe find somewhere closer to Pittsburgh if we ever want to go to Pittsburgh and bring the side by side. And we really need to put the razor to its paces. But I'm really impressed with, the Riverneck videos I've been making and the Carolina Adventure World videos I've been making. And that's, why I got the GoPro, so I can do some trail riding videos with the GoPro. I'll have to find some way to keep it charged. Maybe I might borrow my USB-C cord and keep it charged. Or at least charge it up before we even head out. We were out in the woods. We were in the backwoods. I mean, it's easy to get lost in Riverneck because you know which ones are dedicated trails and which ones aren't. The dedicated trails, because I felt like we were going in a circle. Yeah, it's really hard to tell which ones are the dedicated trails for for everyone, and which ones are for authorized personnel only. I guess next time I go to River Neck, I'll just try to go around the mud holes and not go through them. I mean, this is what we do in the South. We go mudding. Even with Carolina Adventure World, it's going mud bogging. These aren't, real dedicated trails, trails, but they're off-road parks. We have a lot of off-road parks here in the South. It's hard to keep anything new here in the South, especially side by sides. Yeah, it's just a fun little off-road park for me and my dad to go riding. But this is one thing we did within the last year, in the last 880 miles. And that's, we'll watch the rest of this on its 1 year anniversary. Carolina Adventure World, January the 5th. I think that was our first day at Carolina Adventure World. Was January 5th. We actually went 5 days after New Year's. And we'll go back and I'll bring some DVDs along with me and all that stuff. Carolina Adventure World. Wow. Yeah, I mean, now I know why me and my dad like Carolina Adventure World so much compared to Riverneck. I mean, we both like both. When we went in March, it felt like going back to Riverneck again because of how muddy it was. It's an awesome off-road park. But it is a fun little trail ride for what it is. Yeah, especially with using the GoPro app, it brings all the clips together. Beautiful trails. Other than that, it's been mostly riding around my yard the entire time. But yeah, it's a great little off-road park. Trail 6 and Trail 4 is what we mainly go on. There's a lot of different trails that we take to get to where we need to go. It's very easy not to get lost at Carolina Adventure World. And And then we have January the 6th, the very next day. We got up, ate breakfast, and we headed back on the trail. January the 6th. Wow. I love how it widescreens like that. Yep. We got up that very next morning, ate breakfast, and headed back on the trail. Started the side by side up and headed out on the trail. But, there's a lot of trails that we have yet to explore. We'll figure out and we'll make our decision accordingly based on what other trail systems we take a ride on. Whether it's in Georgia, Tennessee, or West Virginia, or wherever that we want to drive to during the rest of our ownership of this RZR. I'm going to drive it till it falls apart, and then we'll think about upgrading a new machine. Wow. Pretty cool. It's all woodsy and hilly and mountainy. Hilly, and it's just amazing. Yeah, we'll have to take my mom trail riding. She'll love Carolina Adventure World with all the hills and the trees. It's gonna be fun. Wow. See, that is a beautiful off-road park. Can't go wrong with Carolina Adventure World. Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful scenery. We were on Trail 4. See, I can conquer both of the trails. I mean, Trail 4, especially when we get to the rocks. Yeah, yeah, there's something about Trail 4, especially when we get to the rocks. It makes it really hard. But I guess I've done it before, and I can do it. Try not to mess up my RZR on those rocks. I'm trying not to mess up my machine within the first year or second year of the ownership. First or second year of ownership. Wow. And getting up those hills takes a lot of strength, a lot of muscle power from our legs, because you have to push down so hard on the gas to give it power to go up those really steep hills. kind of like running through the mountains. It's all uphill and downhill. And then we went to bed, ate dinner, and this is our last day on the trail. And we left home that day, January 7th. Yep, this is our last final day on the trail at Carolina Adventure World. Before we headed home that very next day, we watched the side by side, and that was that. We were back in March. But overall, we've had a really great time celebrating almost 1 year of the RZR and hitting 880 miles. We're getting close to 1,000 miles on the RZR. Not bad, not bad at all. Even though it was January, the trees were kind of bare and they didn't have any leaves on them at all. There's the red clay, and it sticks like glue. And some of it's still on my machine to this very day, because we can't even get it off. It's sticky. Next time my dad's off, he's going to pressure wash the side by side because it is dusty. Mainly from out in the yard. I think, of course, there's Trail 6. That takes an hour and a half to get through. And then after Carolina Adventure World, we spent some time. And at the end of the month, me, my brother, my dad, we all went to Riverneck. I drove some, my brother drove some, my dad drove some. And that was the day my brother sunk my machine, trying to keep it clean. Trying to take care of my own machine. I mean, you're pretty much in a lot of mud at Riverneck. And all the video clips were for my brother driving because I was making a video trying to make sure we have different clips. But next time, I'll record myself driving. We'll have to charge my GoPro right before we leave and head on the trail, which will be after my sister's wedding. So it'll be after late October. Dang, he's so fast. Like, slow down. And then, after my brother left to go to Pittsburgh, me and my dad, we planned another trail ride at Carolina Adventure World, March 4th. Let's head to the very beginning of the video. It's a really long video. Carolina Adventure World, March 4th. We also rode again on March 5th. We just, went for a day or two. 2 days and 1 night. Yep, 2 days and 1 night we went. We stayed in our usual Turtle Pond. That's our home away from home, is Turtle Pond. But we're going to try to get a duplex cabin so my mom can get some sleep and I can get some sleep. We all get some sleep, if you know what I mean. But as you can see, we had a lot of fun within the last year with the RZR, venturing out with it. And once we get it street legal in November, it's going to get a lot more usage, which is a good thing. We don't want it sitting in the garage. That's why I tend to drive it a lot, because I don't want it sitting in the garage with the gas going bad or the oil or anything not being circulated. It's a good thing. That's why I drove it today, because I didn't want the gas to go bad, which, we just filled up today, or the oil not getting circulated or anything getting circulated due to not driving it or the battery dying. We don't want that. But I've been really enjoying my machine. We just hit 880 miles. We're about to hit its first 1,000. In the next 200 miles, we hit 1,000. It'll be like that until, okay, I guess after every 100, it's every 1,000. Like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. I will see how long this thing can last. Because I don't know if it's like a car where it'll reach 250, 200,000. I'm not sure. But I guess it's all based on maintenance and stuff. How many miles can you get out of a side-by-side? I guess out of a Polaris RZR. Before getting a new one. There isn't a set mileage which you should replace a Polaris RZR XP for 1,000 Ultimate. Depends on how much more on how it's been. depends on how much more on how it's been ridden and maintained on the odometer. So we're still in the consider low mileage. A well-maintained RZR should have plenty of life left. Because I only had it for about 0 to 2,000 miles. So we're still under the low mileage. With having a well-maintained RZR, it's got plenty of life left in it. 2,000 to 5,000, still in good range of maintenance, has been done on schedule. You may start replacing wear items like wheel bearings, bushings, CV joints, belts, and suspension components. And when we hit 5,000 to 10,000, we reach the range without, many owners reach this range without major engine problems, but expect more frequent repairs and replacement of driveline and suspension parts. 10,000 plus, a well-maintained RZR can absolutely exceed 10,000 miles. There are owners with 15,000, 20,000, 15,000, 20,000 miles, but then many have rebuilt or replaced major components such as the engine, transmission, or differential. $20.25 current mileage 880 miles. Whether you ride mostly trails, mud, dunes, or pavement, a mixture of Riverneck Acres, Carolina Adventure World, and around my 3-acre yard.
Ultimate.
Wait. If you average about 1,000 miles per year, you can realistically own this machine for 8 to 10 years or more before mileage alone would make replacing it a consideration.
With a 2025 Polaris RZR XE4 1000 Ultimate and only 880 miles, your RZR is still very early in its life. Based on your riding mix, Riverneck Trails, Carolina Adventure World, riding around your 3-acre property, you're using it the way it was designed to be used. Assuming you're keeping up with the scheduled maintenance, I would expect 5,000 to 8,000 miles with relatively routine maintenance and wear items, 8,000 to 12,000 plus miles before you might start thinking about major repairs or replacing it. The engine itself can often last well beyond 10,000 miles if the air filter is kept clean, fluids are changed on schedule, and it isn't repeatedly overheated or run with contaminated oil. At 880 miles, I'd expect your biggest expenses over the next few years to be normal wear items like drive belts, tires, brake pads, wheel bearings, suspension bushings, not the engine or transmission. If you average around 1,000 miles per year, you could realistically own this machine for 8-10 years or more before mileage alone would make replacing it a consideration. One question: how many engine hours are on it? On RZRs, engine hours are almost as important as miles. A machine with 880 miles and 150 hours has been used very differently than one with 880 miles and 40 hours.
I don't know. A lot of it should be synced up to my account. Let's see. Polaris. Oh yeah. That's the fastest I've ever gone. It was right there at that hill. That's the fastest I've taken my razor. Vehicle health. Wow, it's not even showing up. Weird. Turn off Bluetooth. Maintenance. Maintenance log. Owner's manual. Hmm. Oh, it's not even. That's weird. It's hard to keep up with the engine hours. Because it said 40 engine hours. Yeah, it just said 40. I mean, I saw 40, so the next service. I would probably say around 80. If I had to guess, it would be around 80.
If it's around 880 miles and 80 hours, that's actually a very healthy ratio. That works out to an average speed of about 11 miles per hour, which suggests lots of trail riding, some slower technical sections, riding around your property, not excessive idling. That's exactly the kind of use a RZR is built for. Assuming you continue maintaining it properly, I'd expect. Engine, 10,000 plus miles is a realistic.
And it goes through everything with the engine, transmission, diff. My ride command system will let me know when it's time for a scheduled maintenance at Redline Power Sports. And Redline will let me know if there's anything broken before it gets worse. Before it gets worse. Which there's no.
That's an excellent setup. The Polaris Ride Command System is very good at tracking service intervals, and having your machine serviced by an authorized Polaris dealer like Redline Power Sports gives you another layer of protection. If you follow the Ride Command maintenance reminders, let Redline inspect it at each service. Replace wear items before they fail. Keep the air filter clean between services, especially after dusty rides at Carolina Adventure World. There's every reason to expect your RZR to last for many years and many thousands of miles. The biggest problems I see with RZRs usually happen when owners skip fluid changes, ignore a noisy wheel bearing or CV joint, wait until a drive belt breaks instead of replacing it when it's worn, continue riding after noticing unusual noises or warning lights.
It sounds like you're doing the opposite, catching issues early, and almost always much less expensive than waiting for someone to fall off, fail on the trail. And during the scheduled maintenance, they do a full maintenance. They replace everything, they change everything, and there's nothing to worry about. They're doing a full maintenance. We got the maintenance plan. Since I got the 3-year maintenance plan, then after that, we'll have to start paying for the maintenance. Let's see what it says.
That gives you a strong start, especially during the first 3 years. A prepaid maintenance plan generally means the dealer performs the scheduled services specified by Polaris, which typically include engine oil and filter changes, transmission and differential fluid changes at the required intervals, air filter inspection or replacement as needed, checking the drive belt, inspecting brakes, suspension, steering, bearings, and other key components, looking for leaks, loose hardware, and other developing issues. One thing to keep in mind is that scheduled maintenance and repairs aren't the same thing. Even with a maintenance plan, normal wear items like tires, brake pads, batteries, and drive belts may not always be included. If something breaks because of damage or unusual wear, it may not be covered by the maintenance plan, though it could be covered by the warranty if it's a manufacturing defect. When your 3-year plan ends, you'll mainly be paying for routine fluid and filter services, wear items as they wear out, any repairs that become necessary over time. Since you already have the maintenance plan and are having the RZR serviced regularly, you're doing what many owners don't. That greatly improves the chances that your 2025 Polaris RZR XP 41000 Ultimate will stay reliable for a long time and retain more of its value if you ever decide to sell or trade it.
We'll just have to wait and see. Hope this thing will last until my cousin Briella is 10, maybe even older, maybe a teen. We'll see. dad didn't do this years ago. This would have been so much fun 10 years ago, 10 plus years ago, when I came of age. It's kind of like maintaining a car, you know, it's kind of like having a car. You know, it's gas powered. It's just fun. It's a fun little machine. But hope you guys enjoyed this quick little live. Or hope you guys enjoyed this live. I'll catch you guys probably tomorrow.